Jaykumarji, in verse 6, when you were explaining Vasuhu, you said Asmin Vasati iti Vasuhu, right? So did you mean the 8 Vasus, like Agni, Prithvi and all that we listed? Those are called the Vasus, or the world which lives on them is the Vasu?
No, those are called Vasus, and because the world depends on them, resides on them.
Oh, that's why they are called Vasus.
They are called Vasus. Asmin Vasati. Because the world lives on them, means depends on them. They are called Vasus.
Even Earth is, there's Vasudha, is there, right? The word Vasudha.
Yeah, Vasudha. We should see the connection. What is this Vasudha? Where did that come from? Vasudha. Bharati. So, we need to look at Kalpadruva, see what he said. Yeah.
Thank you.
The one thing you said, like all the verses you can experience and see, except Svarga, I think you can't see that. Like it is Adrushta.
Explain again.
No, you said you can experience all these verses, like you can see that it's in front of you, but Svarga is something that it's not visible.
Yeah, Johu. So that is Antariksham. So he took us through. You see Bhuloka, you see Antariksham. Yeah, I see Antariksham. Just stretch your neck a little bit further. That is circle.
Yeah. Antariksham is not actually Swargam, right? It's below Swargam. It's between Bhulokam and Swargam.
Yeah. Yeah, Mahesh, go ahead.
So, what is the difference between Antariksham and space or Akash?
Antariksham is a part of space. See, first of all, Antariksham is sustained by Akasham. Antariksham exists in Akasham. Antariksham is a place. It's a place. It's a region of the universe. Okay. Akasha is what sustains all regions of the universe exist in Akasha.
So is it the place where oxygen is there? Is Antariksham?
Yeah, it's the place where whatever scientists say is there. And so it's a place which is on top of Bhuloka. Okay. Where also life is possible, I suppose.
Awesome.
That is Antariksham. And Antariksham is not, again, it's not just what we see, we are able to perceive. We have perceived only a portion of Antariksham, I think. Human beings can never say, I've seen the entire Antariksham. So, yeah.
Another question is, can you please elaborate this Ashwini Kumar? I mean, I know I read, he explained something as a human being with a horse head or something like that. It keeps coming in Purusha Suktam or many other places. I don't understand fully what is this Ashwini.
Ashwini Kumara. Yeah, let me read it up further because there is science behind Ashwini Kumaras. Okay. And then I'll get back to you on that. Ashwini Kumaras.
Yeah, I try to read the Bhagavad Gita in Swami Chinmayananda on this sloka. So he says this Ashwini is not very clearly explained in Shastra. That's what he said.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, actually I can read it right now.
Oh,
so it says, yeah, the only new term used here is Ashwini Kumara, the horsemen twins. It is not clear in literature as to what exactly is the identity of these twins with heads of horses. It is not very easy to decide what they represent. In some places, they are described as the dawn and dusk, and in other places, there are sufficient evidences to make us suspect that they represent the morning star and the evening star.
Did they come out of the Sagara Matana? No? Ashwini Kumara.
Yeah, he wasn't he.
Not a,
Were they two or the things that came out of the Mathanam, I think. Yeah, correct. But yeah, but still, who are they? What do they represent, right? I want to see the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Let's see if
Guruji, few days back you also mentioned Ashwini Kumaras are the Adhipatis for the Ida and Pingala, no? Right, the right and the left nostrils.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So,
That is there in the
Satya Buddha.
Lagunyasam and all.
Yeah, we need to look at that. I want to see that section 393. Okay, Kathame Rudra iti. There it is. No. So, yeah, let me look it up and then see if I can find anything in this. Okay, any other questions? Rukmini is getting ready for breakfast. Okay.
is that the royal physicians, right? For health and medicine.
Correct. Ashwini Kumar. So this prana. So maybe I'm curious if they are like the overall devatas of the Jnanendriyani and Karmendriyani separately, one group. And I want to find that out. Let's see. I'll do some research on that. Okay, Vaidya, go ahead.
Ekmati, Vasus, you said, Asman Vasati iti Vasu, you said?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So they are Agni, Prithvi, Varuna, and
Correct.
Vayu. I said Ashtavasus, right?
Correct.
How many Adityas are there?
Agnischa, Prithvicha, Vayuscha, Antarikshancha, Adityascha, not Adityaha, Adityascha, Dyauscha, Chandramascha, Nakshatranicha. Agni, Prithvi, Vayu, Antariksham, Aditya, Dyauhu, Chandramaha, Nakshatrani. Do we have it?
Agni, Prithvi, Vayu,
Hmm.
Antariksham, Aditya, Dyaus, Chandrama, and Nakshatrani.
Yeah.
Okay. And why is Aditya listed again here?
Yeah, these connections are always there.
Uh-huh.
So Aditya as part of a samuha is listed here. Okay. And separately, Adityas will be listed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did not be, it's not like they're not, what do you call in sets, what do they say? Mutually exclusive, right?
Got it.
Need not be mutually exclusive.
Got it. Hmm. So
Out
then
of the
Vishnu is considered as
Panchabhuta-
one of the Adityas,
Yeah.
right? Aditya Namaham Vishnu. Vishnu is considered.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, we saw that also. Adityana Maham Vishnu.
Only Apaha is missing in that.
Yeah, Appa is not listed here. If you assume what about Akasha? You're assuming Antariksham as Akasha, correct? Yeah. So these are the traditional definitions of Rudras, Vasus, etc. It's very interesting that I'm actually surprised that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has it. Because it is not necessary, because the dialogue is going on. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is so big, so you have a lot of things there. And so that's why it's Chandogya and Brihadaranyaka. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Ashwini Kumaras. Gods of the morning who bring light and prosperity to the world, they are also mentioned in several other Hindu texts, including the Mahabharata and the Puranas, where they are depicted as powerful healers and divine physicians. Overall, the Ashwini Kumaras are considered to be an important part of Hindu mythology and are revered for their healing powers, association with health and well-being. Yeah. Oh, the eye to universe, eye to outer space. Okay. $470 aircraft. Okay. Oh, 550. Okay, good. Any other questions? So see that video. Vijay, what you can do is you can send that video to to the group, and then let everybody see it.
Guruji, are you aware of that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has a conversation between Yajnavalkya and Gargi, even covering the subject matter of yoga?
Yeah, so I've not studied it, but yeah, there is that aspect.
No, that is Ayurveda. This is regarding yoga, and I think Yajnavalkya Samhita has a mention about yoga, and he gives some asanas. The mention I was just checking, and the asanas were mentioned by him to Gargi when she wanted to,
I know there is a section like that, but I've not. What kind of asanas he lists there?
There are some 8 asanas. I was just going through Bhadrasana, mostly all for meditation. And Krishnamacharya has written a book on it. Yoga Yajnavalkya Rahasya or something like that. Yoga Rahasya.
Oh, and that is basically the dialogue between which.
Yeah, Yajnavalkya, and there is a mention of that.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. So it is meant the asanas listed, and these are all the asanas that are good for you, like that. He says, tells Gargi, yeah.
Yes.
Or is Gargi telling Yajnavalkya?
No, Yajnavalkya telling Gargi.
Yeah, Gargi also is a Maharshi, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is all Gargi is questioning. She is raising the questions.
Okay. Gargi Yajnavalkya Samman.
Yeah, the question that which came to my mind was Upanishads are quoting about whatever we understand is Advaita, this thing, it's like mostly about Advaita. And these were also quoted as a means of, getting the knowledge of the self, attaining the knowledge of self, or maybe, I don't know, because all these things were mentioned in the Upanishads. And now even Ashwini Kumaras, all these, you quoted Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So where they quoted as means
For moksha.
for not moksha, I would say, to get that understand, because finally it comes to you are that. So when you are quoting about Ashwini Kumaras or Antariksha or Akarsha or whatever it is it finally for the Guru to say that, hey, look, all these things, it is appearing in you? So is it coming to that? That's the reason we have to.
Yeah, it is both. Sometimes it is contextual. Sometimes it is just a dialogue that's happening. Okay, may not be related to what's coming later. So in Gargi Yajnavalkya, she is checking out Yajnavalkya's knowledge. There is no, she is not saying whether this guy knows the Advaita Siddhi or not. Is here, no, she's not checking. You're a wise man and all you said. Let me ask you a few questions. Like Yudhishthira was asked the questions by Yaksha. Like that, some test is going on. And so then Yajnavalkya takes it. So therefore, it did not indicate an essential part of the teaching of Advaita. Okay? Please remember that. But then here being this Vishwarupa Darshanam, etc., that idea is nourished. That you even before studying Vedanta, you must be able to see Bhagavan present in front of you. Without studying Vedanta, without knowing a single word of Bhagavad Gita, we must be able to do that. That's what Krishna is saying. Correct? And that is what we learn as we grow up. That is what we learn as we grow up. It's called Vriddha Vyavahara. Vriddha Vyavahara. And so really, really speaking, that Advaita Siddhi should give us that vision. Should give us that unlimited vision. It is so big that Name Parthasti Kartavyam Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana. How can somebody say that? Only the person who has this vision can say that. Therefore, it's connected. It is connected. It's connected. No doubt about that.
There is a portion where he teaches also, no? Maitri and Gargi. I don't know if both are different or the same. Because he also teaches his wife, right?
Yeah.
Atma Vidya. He gives.
Yeah, Maitri Brahmanam. And that's where the dialogue between him and Katyayani and Maitri comes. Most dialogue is with Maitri. And that is where that Atmavari, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nityasitavyaha, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. All these things are coming in that section of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And that's the one that we normally study. That's the one we normally study. The teaching of yoga and all that I've heard about, but I have not really studied it.
It seems it was the reference, the textual reference of yoga is that, which Yajnavalkya's yoga, it's called yoga, it seems, the book. I don't know, I have not come across. I was just trying to check. There's a book called Yoga the reference where there is a conversation between Gargi and Yajnavalkya.
Oh. Okay.
So among the different definitions of yoga, this is one of the definitions of yoga, what Yagnavalkya gives.
I see. So it is, so Patanjali Yoga Sutra is there. That's a main treatise people look for. But this is much before that. Upanishad is before that. Yeah. Okay.
Again, some of the definitions we say Sukha Dukkha Samaykritva is also a definition of yoga. I mean, that is a state of yoga.
Okay.
This was the first, probably the first textual reference. That's
Of
what they
yoga,
say.
correct.
Many people have referred to that book. That's
And what is the name of that section? You tell me, if once you find out, you tell me what that
I will.
formal name is. Yeah.
Yagnavalkya, yes.
Yeah. That's good to know.
I was just looking up for the history of yoga from Rig Veda, and there is a reference in Vedas also about yoga, but it is not in the form of asanas. But there is a reference, I think, where they say that you have to be prepared in order to get this knowledge through yoga. So they assume it is some kind of physical practice.
Yeah.
Basically sadhana, yeah.
Yeah, it's
To Nammalvar also recently, I mean, the much later text where Krishnamacharya had a vision in Tamraparani or something. Just looking up.
yeah. So yeah, preparatory disciplines, physical, mental. You'll find a lot of references.
Even Ashtanga Yoga is basically, if you look at the 8 Angas, it is all preparation only. Yama, Niyama, Asana. Even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, of the 196 sutras, only 2 sutras talk about asana. So it's not even 1%.
Is it not?
Yeah. He just brushes it aside and moves forward.
On the contrary, we have texts like Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Charaka Samhita and all mentioning about, even Shiva Samhita mentioning about a lot of asanas.
Shiva Samhita is also a good text. Conversation between Shiva.
That one aspect and then elaborates on that.
Yeah.
One aspect.
Yeah, so basically, Sukham Stiram is asanam, right? So people came up with multiple ways, many ways to be in that state. Sukham and
Hatha Yoga Pradipika is Sukham, Stiram, Asanam, and then few more slokas from Bhagavad Gita taken, and then
it's exploded into
highly researched and elaborated. Very important. So that a lot of research was done on that.
Hatha Yoga mostly it's covering all the cleansing, Shat-kriyas and all
Basically,
that.
Shat-kriya.
Kriyas and how you can how you can prepare yourself for Raja Yoga, meditation, Vivekananda's path.
Okay.
Hatha Yoga's goal is Raja Yoga.
It's role of Hatha Yoga is
It's preparing you for Dharana Dhyana.
So physically, the best you can do that is that, and then be guided for Dhyana Yoga.
Hatha Yoga is also about removing excess baggage.
Excess baggage means?
Both emotional, physical, cleansing, all those. Hatha Yoga starts with Shat-kriyas, the 6 kriyas of cleansing.
Basically, unless the body stops bothering you, you can't move beyond it. So
body should no longer be an impediment, but it should be an assistant.
So asana also, the aim of asana was that only, to remove the mala.
Correct. Yeah, we just have to be careful that we should not read into that
as the ultimate.
as ultimate. That's all.
Correct.
So, because then the tracks will be different. So you have to have, in fact, what we say is, Swamiji also would say, you need to maintain your health. You need to take care of your health. But doing aerobics 3 hours a day cannot be your goal in life. This is dangerous. It's not acceptable also. We don't accept that. No, that's too much. You take care of your body and then let the body will help you. As long as you then you use the thing for studying. And then whatever pains are there, after that it comes, you just learn to live with it, Titiksha is there. How come you forgot Titiksha, right? Titiksha will take care of all the things in yoga that you don't know. All the great asanas, if I had done, I wouldn't be having all these breathing problems and this and that, headache and all that. Yeah, so Titiksha. Bear with it. Very interesting.
Probably the same principle was used by Krishnamacharya, titiksha during asanas. Get the different type of asanas and have titiksha towards the pain so that you can get rid of your physical bondage. That was a principle used by many proponents of yoga, like Krishnamacharya and all that.
Same thing. Stiram Sukham Asana, what he is saying is when you move into the asana, convert that state of uncomfortableness into Sukham Stiram.
So that you can
transcend.
Yeah, you can use it in your day-to-day life. Probably that's the idea he was trying to convey, but it was taken too far by many, people and used it as a medium of exhibiting one's,
gymnastic
skills. But thing is, what he was trying to say is transcend it by doing it so that you can develop titiksha while doing asanas, and there is some amount of even most of the time it is like I'm not able to do something is to make sure that you are limited. The asanas also should every time remind you that hankara is there and it has to be, surrendered. That's why he got the concept of Ishvara Pranidhana and all that. Surrender, and it is easy.
Right.
Definition also says prayatna shaitilyam, right? Let go, surrender. Asana definition, what Patanjali also says, stiram sukham asanam prayatna shaitilyam. Let go.
So I think it will help us to learn the Shastram if it is used properly, if it is understood properly.
So that's what. So without Shravanam, we keep on doing yoga means then that is, don't take us anywhere. Right.
So specific age group, at the younger age group, you want them physically attracted like children and all that. Yeah. For them, competition is the spirit. Rajasika Guna is predominant. So
yeah.
I think that I also felt that that's the one of the reasons why it should be in schools now. Because there's a lot of tamas because of sitting in one place and not doing any kind of activity.
So your courses you are conducting in schools is stopped, is it, or is it continuing?
It is going on.
Okay.
We do it in about six, 7 schools. Yeah.
We have delegated it to teachers now.
We have teachers who go there and deliver.
Right. Okay.
So part of the curriculum. It is not a co-scholastic subject. So it's calendarized. So there's a timetable. There is evaluation, all that, marking.
Very good. And so the role you play, you and teachers play versus the school plays in this course offering?
We design the syllabus. It is being done by us. The teachers go on our behalf. So we have teachers who go from our side.
And it is part of the curriculum.
It is part of the curriculum.
And so they do get grades also.
Yes.
And who gives the grades? You, your teachers, and
our teachers.
Teachers give the grades.
So there's a framework which we have provided based on that.
I see. Okay. So with NEP and all, is that changing somewhat, or is it increasing, or anything like that?
Time is a bit constrained for most of this. See, what typically happens is if you look at the younger grades, say grade 1 to grade 4, they have multiple co-scholastic subjects. One is yoga, dance, music, literature, drama, acting, and all that. So that also becomes on a timeshare basis. So you may get to see the student maybe once in 2 months. So once in 6 weeks or once in 8 weeks is what you get to see them. And typically the number of sessions you can do in a year is about 30-35 sessions, considering all the holidays and all that, because once a week. So sometimes it gets severely limited. So younger grades, typically you get you may do about 10 sessions for them. 9th and 10th, they don't have time for any of this. They are the people who need it actually, but they don't have time for this.
I think at the same time, the NEP also is trying to integrate the subject matter of yoga into their syllabus. So the teachers are getting a better understanding about yoga and they are trying to use it like Yoga Nidra, for example. I was suggesting if you could use Yoga Nidra to memorize stuff like, during the state of relaxation, if it's possible for the teachers to, give the concepts and understand what Yoga Nidra is, it will be helpful to memorize even a poem or a difficult, equation. So I was just trying to discuss, and it's welcome. The idea is welcome.
So NEP will focus on integration, not as a standalone subject. How does everything mesh into each other?
So are your teachers now trained to do that, think like that, or?
Partly, I wouldn't say they are fully, because the minute we say yoga, they get into asanas. Because these children are sitting, and to get the concept of Shavasana or Yoga Nidra is very difficult when they are sitting for a long time, because they have a lot of energy within them which has to be exhausted for them to.
Does it involve pranayama as well, Viraj?
Don't say pranayama, more of breathing.
Breathing. Pranayama is more to do with little bit of holding and all. We don't.
No,
breathing
simple
practice.
ones.
Yeah,
Simple ones like Anulom Vilom, because it will balance their left and right.
Those are breathing, though they come and a lot of people call them as pranayama, but they're not really pranayama. They're all breathing techniques. Pranayama requires a lot of body preparation. I mean, that is the reason why it is placed before asana. Pranayama can be extremely risky if you actually do proper pranayama without guidance.
The reason is we don't know what they're doing.
Correct. Pranayama requires, it's not DIY.
Right. And the children may have some disorders and this and that, and so we have to be careful.
Yeah. So basically, basic breathing practices, basically breathing correction, because breathing is something you did not attend a course on how to do breathing. So even now we see a lot of people in adults, 50 years, 60 years, that incorrect breathing practices are there. So that correction we do. As a child, you're able to catch them. At least futuristic health issues can be addressed because of improper breathing. Correcting the breathing practice.
Some
that we get.
Simple games, breathing games, and stuff like that we introduce.
Even now, like one of the common things what we notice is about 20% of the people, adult population, when they inhale, the stomach goes in. It should actually come out. When you inhale, your stomach must bulge out.
Okay.
For 20% of the people, it is the reverse.
Majority of them, I think.
No. Majority would be a big issue. It's a big health issue, and it is not noticed. It is not. I mean, people are not aware of that.
I see.
So when you inhale, actually, what is happening is the diaphragm is moving down, so the stomach has to move out to accommodate the space. Right, so it creates a lower pressure on the upper portion of the chest for the air to move in. But if your stomach goes in, you are preventing air ingress.
So if the chest expands, then the stomach might go in sometimes, right?
Typically, you see there are 3 stages in breathing. You've got abdominal breathing, you've got thoracic breathing, and you've got clavicular breathing. And most of the time it is abdominal breathing. So there's a movement of the abdomen in and out. When the abdomen moves out, air is sucked in. When the abdomen moves in, air is pushed out.
Okay.
Chest breathing is very rare. I mean, you don't, unless you are conscious about it, you don't do thoracic breathing. It is most of the time it is abdominal breathing.
Okay.
So for the abdominal, to facilitate abdominal breathing, the stomach has to move out. But then you notice that when you get into breathing practices, stomach is moving inwards when you inhale. So that is a very major health risk.
Yeah.
So when we are sleeping, for example, the stomach keeps moving up and down, and that's the typical normal inhalation, exhalation. And you're saying that for some people it doesn't do that?
Some people it is the reverse. When they inhale, stomach goes in.
Oh.
And that is close to about 15-20% of the population.
Oh.
Say as a child breathes properly, but over time I think that breathing goes wrong.
Generally, chest breathing is associated with anxiety, right? When you're anxious, you tend to breathe into your chest and not with your belly.
It becomes habit.
Here they teach them to release anxiety, breathe into your belly.
Correct.
Correct. Shallow breathing is chest, but then actually it is not chest breathing, it is shallow breathing. The typical method of breathing is you fill up your stomach, fill up your chest, fill up your clavicular region. So that is a long breath.
Yogic breath, that's called, no?
Yeah, yogi. So you train the people in terms of how to do abdominal breathing, then how do you progress to chest breathing, then how do you go to clavicular breathing, then how do you integrate all the three together?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Nobody went through a course after birth saying how to breathe properly.
Huh?
Nobody went through a course, so everybody assumes that whatever I am doing is right, unless suddenly you come to a class and somebody teaches you breathing. Oh my God, all these years I've been doing wrong, and I'm already 60 years old.
Right. Interesting. Okay, we'll start with this. CrossFit act. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.